Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Legacies. This is episode 13 of season 3. Hopefully guys are enjoying the series so far. You can vote for your most liked characters of the season and your most disliked in the description below. I will reveal your results and mine at the end of episode 16 of this season, which is obviously not too far away. So last episode, interesting, you know, LANDON actually returned, but weirdly enough, the LANDON that we had in the last few episodes was not the LANDON Enquiry that we all know. Wade acknowledged that he felt something was iffy, and it turned out to be true. He was, is it a golem? And do you remember when Hope and Cleo created that, masterpiece thing? Do you know when he was trying to raise money for the school? You know, they made it. She put a little sign saying "Look to us" there, and obviously, like when the leprechaun was there, so someone would come in and she wanted to buy LANDON for like, I don't know, 90 grand or something, and that would have been enough for the school. But Hope was reluctant to do it. Well, it turns out that he has been resurrected later on, obviously into the future. But who by? Do you know, like, how is he here? Hope obviously used his like ashes or lava or whatever it was that he melted into when he created the spell, and she did do it with Cleo. You know, when the hands touched, the glow happened in the bowl, and obviously she's played a part to it. So she's not the all singing, all dancing person that she's led to believe, you know. But I'm not going to deep dive in on her and slag her off, because I actually like Cleo. And I think her character's pretty decent, and I do think it's quite cute watching her and Caleb together. But also, I'm really interested. You know, she attacked Hope and she stabbed her as well, with a big knife, which didn't really have no impact in Hope at all, which is really interesting. But she stabbed her. Then she said, you know, I need you, you know, to... What she was trying to say is that I need you to have your fully activated tribute side. But she never, you know, revealed why. And I'm wondering if it's because, obviously, in Malibu, because she's not the full complete package, so to speak, that is the reason why she can't be there. That's why he always spits her out. But maybe if she was this whole thing, then it will play a factor into him, play a factor into, obviously, it could possibly consume Hope. I don't know, but it is interesting. And obviously the LANDON that was in the present, the golem or whatever's, tried to attack Hope as well. You know, he was like, look, mate, I'm just a perfect person, pretty much. Whatever you desire, I am it. Instead of looking for the original LANDON, he's gone, he's dead. You can just put up with me and we can live a happy life together. Do you know what I'm saying? I am immortal, he's not. And that's your fear, isn't it? You always had a fear that LANDON is never going to be, you know, around for the long haul, because obviously he is human, he's got no powers and he will die, where I am LANDON as well. But I can never die, and I could be here for the end of time. Well, I hope she's obviously not happy with that. She wants the original LANDON or no LANDON. So she attacked him, and he was having a good fight, and she obviously did destroy him. That was obviously before Cleo came in. But again, at the very end of the episode, the person with the mask on who took Hope's hair and a bit of LANDON's in the previous episodes that I thought was Ryan, it turned out actually to be LANDON. You know, he gave Hope a necklaces, you know, the one from... with the Emily and Haley's, and then revealed himself to obviously be the real LANDON. So that's where we're going to go into this next episode. But that is not the only thing that was happening. You know, we had... E13, he wanted to transition into a fully fledged vampire. Obviously the episode before he was beaten up when we ended the episode, and MG went and gave him some blood, and that is how he healed himself in this episode. And then MG told him everything about the supernaturals and what they can do, and he took that information and he was like, look mate, you know, if I die now with a vampire blood in my system, then I'll be able to transition over as well, won't I? And then he stole MG's ring so that he couldn't chase him outside, you know, into the sun, which is really clever. And he was like, mate, I'm going to go and kill myself, I'll see you on the other side, brother. Do you know? And then he went obviously to the top of the Mystic Falls, like, and he was going to jump off and kill himself, and we just seen some burning flame running all the way across through the sun, and it was MG. He didn't want him to take himself out, nearly killed himself in the process, obviously burning, but managed to stop Ethan from obviously committing suicide, got his ring back, and then he compelled him to forget everything about the supernaturals and stuff. And he was just, you know, he'd done a good compulsion, he'd done the one that should have happened when he was in the school the first time. You know, he's having a bad day, you come out here to reflect on your life, you're going to wake up feeling great in the morning, you know, you're going to pursue your dreams, and you're going to forget that we are friends. You know, that is what should have happened. But it's really sad for MG. But him and what is it now, Him and Lizzie's relationship is obviously progressing slowly. I feel like they're getting closer and closer and closer, and it's going to be a matter of time before they kiss. So I'm all on board for that, and I can't wait for it. And the final bit is Lizzie wasn't in this episode. She took time to relax for herself, obviously, from the episode before when she had an argument with Finch, and she just needed some time to relax. So she went into the woods. But Rick and Josie, they figured out Necromancer is still in the present. They went and found him, Ted, who was working at a funeral home, and he was like well confused. He didn't know like who he was. He didn't know like who the Necromancer was and all that. And it seems like he was obviously Ted, but a dead body got blew up, and he started laughing, and he was like, "Look, see what we're saying? He's still inside you. No matter what, no matter if you can't remember who you are, you have still got a Necromancer in you, and he'll always try to fight, his way out." Then later on in the episode, they work together, obviously trying to figure out what's going on with Hope, and obviously how to open this mystical object that they've been having troubles to obviously figure out. And the Necromancer made the ultimate sacrifice and killed himself. It said it needed a human sacrifice, and he killed himself, Ted, mate. So who would have thought that would have happened when a Necromancer come in? It spun full circle, turned into a good guy, and then sacrificed himself for the school. So that is amazing as well. So that is where we are. Thanks for watching the previous episodes. Thanks for clicking on today's one. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into episode 13 of Season 3 of Legacies.
You're gonna put Cleo back in there, aren't you?
For now, it might be best for everyone's safety if she just returned to the artifact while I figure things out.
Cleo manipulated Hope by creating a fake Landon, and then tried to kill her. Cleo's gotta go.
Sorry.
You're pretty jumpy about people touching your weapons.
I guess I spent more time in the prison world than I thought. Was there something you wanted to ask me?
Meet you in dining hall?
He's being well shady, isn't he? Definitely being proper shady.
Nobody here bites. That was a marginal at best werewolf pun. I was expecting some sort of sarcastic response.
There's a lot going on at this school.
Isn't it great? I'm really glad that you decided to come.
We'll see about the rest. I'm still not sure this is the right fit.
He rejects Hogwarts,
This
mate.
is
No
literally
one.
built for people like us.
You're the headmaster's daughter who fits in here. I'm a loner from Mystic Falls High who hates group activities.
She better not leave.
You missed breakfast, so I brought you this. I used a locator spell to find you. I just needed to make sure.
I'm really me.
We've both been through so much, and I'm trying to be patient. I mean, I have a lot of questions. Help a girl out. I mean, I'm at a loss here.
Can't really put it into words yet.
I might have just the thing.
Right, so he's saying that he's being weird. Yeah. Because he's not been around people for so long. Okay. Kind of get that. If you was like away from society for ages and he integrated back in, you would be a bit like overwhelmed, as he said. That does make a lot of sense. Now, if he gets later on and starts being more, like sketchy about like touching things and all that, and people like knowing his personal stuff and like they're my things, then I'd be intrigued. But right now I'm gonna give him a pass because it does make kind of sense. And he also was engaging in Hope's conversation there. He wasn't like cold shouldering her or anything.
Dr. Saltzman sent Hope and Landon to go get the artifact. Aren't you gonna say anything? Because spoiler alert, he plans on stuffing your ass back in it. You were the one that insisted I be honest and real. And now you want to be tight-lipped about things?
It always has a way of catching up with me.
What are you doing?
What is about to happen will feel strange, but you will be safe. And do not worry. I will make sure you can understand the language.
1464 AD, mate. She's well old.
Cleo? Wait, where you going? And where the hell am I?
Let me tell you a story. A long time ago, there was a monster that lived in the woods. It was searching for something special there. A muse used her powerful magic to get the warriors to fight with their words. The monster agreed to spare the village in exchange for what it wanted.
They want Cleo. Oh, that's mad. Baby.
I can't go in there with you. I had a run-in with a monster who makes you see things that aren't really there. I kept hallucinating I was being rescued.
We can talk more on the walk back, okay?
It's getting stuffed in your locker.
You are the seventh daughter of a seventh daughter. You are a muse. A muse inspires people. I use my magic to help the villagers. Because such power comes with an obligation, so I will use it to protect our home.
I do not want you to go.
We have to make big sacrifice to keep the people we care about safe. I love you, my granddaughter.
You know you're a total badass in the future. You're gonna be okay. Malivore? This bitch is everywhere!
No, you need to protect our village, and I'll protect you.
Cleo!
I'm not having it.
And now you see us make big sacrifices to keep the people we care about safe.
Right, okay, that story was decent, but what is it? Why does that tell me why she's here? Why she's attacking Hope? Why she's, you know, like, come out of the object? I'm not saying I didn't like what I just saw. She obviously made a big sacrifice when she was a kid. You know what I mean? Someone so small like that, like, deciding to save a whole village and go into the unknown with Malivore. It's some mad stuff, honestly. Like, big up to her. But in terms of the present, it doesn't tell me why she's here and what she's doing. It kind of look like, makes me think she's been with Malivore so long, she's part of him now. But then, obviously, when you look at her and listen to her in the present, it's like, okay, I don't think she is.
Landon!
Oh, you're coming in hot.
No, she opened up to me. She showed me her story. I saw her as a little kid. We got it all wrong about Cleo. She's not a villain.
Whatever she showed you, however she did it, just know that she's the one controlling the narrative.
That's true.
What happened to Hope is any proof that's not good.
Well, that's what I said.
More information.
I'm on it.
No, you're not, because you've already made up your mind.
If those are the rules, then it can't be you either.
Excuse me.
That's true.
Come on. Your mind's been made up from the jump, Doc. Sending problem kids to prison worlds proves that.
That's a low blow. Neither one of us is qualified to get it.
This is where they like to hang out.
Oh, there's no other female werewolf. Oh, there's one.
Jed, the Salvatore School's alpha.
How much can you bench?
What's the next step on the tour? I've seen enough of this one.
I need your help.
This is my friend Finch.
Interrupting what I'm sure is a phenomenal tour because of your guy.
You're embarrassing.
Yeah, then maybe we could talk in private, because it's only gonna get worse from here.
Wolves are always the weird ones, aren't they, when you introduce? Like, they actually are. Look at him. Look at that. Like, that's not welcoming, is it?
Why won't you just ask me the question you've been working so hard to avoid? I had to fight the necromancer to escape. I had to fight my way out of that darkness only to be stuck in a prison world full of monsters with no one to help me. It wasn't about waiting for you to rescue me anymore. It was about surviving.
You found a way out.
You did.
That was weeks ago. Are you telling me that you've been back this whole time?
But I said, I've got to go back and what I said, because I said Cleo got him back, didn't I? I was kind of slagging Hope off because she was selfish that episode, wasn't she? She was well selfish, mate. She was. Like, you got to call a spade a spade. Selfish. She only thought of herself, nobody else. The magic could have consumed Joseph, could have consumed Lizette, could have done harmful stuff to them. And as it was consuming him, Landon come in and boom, saved it. Now, I said, you know, Cleo saved the day there. Hope was well selfish, but from this, Hope plan actually worked. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give Hope the credit. Even though she was selfish, again, you got to call a fact, haven't you? If that is what brought Landon back to the present, then her selfishness did actually save him. So she was kind of right to do it, even though I disliked how it happened.
Sorry to interrupt.
Where's Caleb?
My dad actually thought that I should talk to you instead. I had a run-in with black magic not too long ago. I was told that Malivore took you as a child.
If you have been sent here to judge me, that is a decision you must make for yourself.
Mo paini aju lati be.
Yeah, that is it.
Look what they made from your mud.
I'm gonna eat it.
Malivore forced you to create monsters just so he could eat
Eat
them?
them.
He was hungry and desperate by design.
This is really good, actually. I'm actually liking it.
But Malivore continued to consume each one until one day, inspiration returned the favor and smiled upon me.
You inspired Malivore to want a vessel.
The idea that he has obsessed over for centuries.
Oh, mate, this is well good. I love how they tied it into the inspiration storyline.
Voice. This blonde is perfect.
I have given you your vessel, so you are finally free from the confines of the spell that spawned you.
I cannot let such power go now that I am free.
Never make a deal with the bad guy.
I will rid this world of the creatures that created me. It's just the beginning of our story.
It is the end, for you are more a prisoner now than you ever were before. You just do not know it. Your new form is indeed perfect, but I am the one who controls it.
Only make a deal with the bad guy when you know how to screw him over.
This vessel will be the last comfort my gifts will ever bring you.
I will break free. I will find you, Cleos, one day.
I tell you what, it's decent. Now, I said that Cleo, I was on the edge. I didn't know she was good, I didn't know she was bad. She was doing loads of good stuff, but still since I was convinced. Then she done the bad stuff last episode, and I was like, oh, maybe I was right, mate. She's bad, and then boom, you get in this one. It's like, she's pretty good again. So I'm going to, not even finish the episode yet, but I'm going to settle on the conclusion that she is a decent person. The only thing that I don't know what she was trying to do is why was she trying to kill Hope and activate her whole side, unless the only reason why she wants Hope to be activated is so that Hope can defeat Malivore, and then Cleo will be free from Malivore altogether. That is why I think that she was trying to take Hope out, not because she was bad, but because she had a bigger goal in mind to to save everyone. It's like we've seen in her past. She sacrificed herself for the village, and it's like she's sacrificing herself again to try and save everybody else. So it's pretty good, actually. I'm liking it.
I was watching the school from a distance. I wanted to make sure everyone was safe, that nothing came through the rift with me.
You tried to kidnap Cleo and then attacked me.
No, I was fighting a wolf that ambushed me.
So you knew the truth, that thing was an imposter? Why would you let me be with him?
Same reason you let me be with Josie last year. You looked happy, I was a mess. It seemed like the better option for you.
Pretend that...
Malivore's there. I don't know. It is Malivore.
A monster?
Put the salt down. We don't need any of it. I chose to do black magic. It was manipulated, sure. Cleo was torn from her family and forced to. I almost killed MG, and then I actually killed Alyssa. You just let me back into the school like nothing happened. But you can't play judge, jury, and executioner with Cleo's life. I feel like that spell never works.
Monsters are a lot like bullies. There's no talking to them. You just gotta fight.
Guess I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Spoke with Caleb and Josie, and they both had very strong feelings about you after seeing what you've been through. Why did you try and kill Hope?
There is no need for me to inspire the solution that will destroy Malivore. You already have it.
He loves it. Oh, right in the head.
I think we make a pretty good team.
Good teams don't fail their mission.
Deep down, you know that I am right.
Even if you are, it isn't an option.
It is the only option. I was sealed in the artifact for centuries. Could only be opened by the one capable of killing Malivore.
Oh, no way.
Wait, so Malivore didn't send the leprechaun?
And I did not summon the ferryman either.
Decent.
As I have made so many monsters from the mud of Malivore. But my most important creation was only necessary because Hope refused to let LANDON go. Story changed when Malivore learned I was still alive. I did not want to be his prisoner again, so I was forced to
I knew
switch
she'd done
tactics.
that.
But of course, I had to prevent you from discovering my true origins. I had to make a terrible choice. There is nothing I wish to see more than Malivore destroyed.
Hope has already lost so much in her life, and I won't watch her lose her human life, too.
After I escaped from Malivore, I yearned to return to my village. But I was afraid Malivore would follow me there.
So you ended up in Italy.
It was there that I met a brilliant young man, Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo had cared for many men and women before me, but he was my first and only love. My grandmother's precious granddaughters. I believe she still watches over me as ancestor. I agreed to keep my existence a secret. Parted ways with Leonardo, hoping that one day Malivore would be gone and I could return to the world. Now you finally know my full story.
I need to know that you won't try and kill Hope again.
That sacrifice is Hope's to make.
I mean, she doesn't seem bad now, does she? No, she does stay. You know what? I hope she does stay. She's not that bad, is she? Well, I mean, she's not bad at all. She had a decent relationship with Caleb. It can still go on, She's had a good backstory. She's playing a good factor in the Malivore storyline. I mean, that's Malivore in the present, is it not? Because last time we seen him, he had his hands caught up like that in the backstory. Now we see him in the present. they're gone. I'm assuming that he's like screamed or something and he's snapped or decayed over time, and that is how he's become free. And yeah, so them obviously like hitting him in his head and chopping him down, I think that's just going to be a temporary thing. I think he's going to come back. I think that she should stay at the school. I actually do. I like it. A character come in, and the same with Finch as well, but she has not had a good introduction. We haven't seen her any time this episode since she was sat with Josie. No, I'm hoping that when we cut back to her, you know, she had a frosty start with the Wolves, you know, when they was first introduced, but I hope that when they go back to it, mate, she's having a time of her life in the gym, running around, having a buzz, and she's found friends. That would be the best scenario. Because I don't want her to leave. It was a pointless in introducing a new wolf, and it play no real factor in the story. It's perfect. It fits perfect with Josie and how she's back in the school, bring somebody else in, female love interest. It would work absolutely perfect, but you never know what the show's going to pull out. Oh, there you go. It's just exactly what I've just said.
Same time tomorrow?
Bet your ass. Which I will kick again.
We'll see about that.
It must just be a wolf thing, innit? Like, proper, like, yeah, let's go.
You just make a friend.
A couple, actually. Everything on your end go okay?
By okay, you mean me realizing that I am a spoiled princess.
When you introduced me earlier, it was pretty obvious you didn't know what to call me. So I was thinking girlfriend.
Well cute,
Yes.
look.
Yes.
That is well cute.
I know a healing spell for that.
Can you hold that there? Yeah, right there on my arm.
I know I've been wishing things. It doesn't matter what it is or if anything's changed. You are still the person I love.
You asked me if I would be here with you right now if things had been different. I went through hell in that prison world to stay alive, only to find you happy with a perfect version of me. We're doomed.
Because I went through hell to find you. And I would do it all over again if
I
needed
can't
to.
let you do that.
Are you breaking up with me?
We should probably stay far away from each other. Goodbye, Ho.
Well, you and Josie were right. I was more concerned with being the voice of authority than in seeing Cleo for who she really was.
You know where I can find her so I can apologize to?
I have no idea. She chose to leave.
Her being into me was just a part of her cover story, too.
I don't think it was.
I really am sorry things didn't work out the way you wanted them to.
Oh, everyone gets this bus stop and they never get on the bus, do they? Oh, it's Landon.
Seat taken.
Landon, Kirby.
Where are you headed?
Find another way to kill Malibu.
Need a hand?
There you go. Oh, it's finished. Malivaux's still here though, isn't it? Like, unless I'm mistaken, he definitely was that person that they fought in the woods. It's just that he doesn't know that that was Malivaux, but she does, because she was the one that cast him into that body. But what's really interesting is he's decided to leave and she's decided to leave, and now they cross paths and boom, mate. We want the same things. We dream the same dream. Take down Malivaux. So we've got Hope on this side, finding out that she needs to die so that she can take Malivaux out, and then we've got these two pursuing another avenue, which we have no idea what it is. She said that there was only one way, and the person that activated the, I don't even know what you call it, the object that she was inside, was the only person that could kill Malivaux. So if that is true, she's wasting her time technically, isn't she? But I'm excited because you don't tease it. Do you know what I'm saying? You do not tease it. And so far, I have heard that season 4 has started off sick. Like, that's like, I posted this episode on episode 1 onto the YouTube, and everybody was like, yeah, stick with it. Episode 4 started off with a bang, it's sick. And I've seen a few people, like, obviously online, saying it started off really, really well. I'm assuming that's because Hope's transitioned into the hybrid. I think they said that the first 3 episodes of the next season was the final 3 episodes of this season because of production and the COVID, that they overlapped. So that's where I think it's happening. I think season 4 is going to start. I think she's going to die in them stages there, because the finale would have been 3 episodes in, and then we would start on an absolute madness, mate, going forward, and it's going to be sick. So I'm really excited because, like I said, it's episode 13 now, so you get your votes in for your most likely discarded characters of the season, but we are rapidly approaching present, like, weekly updates. Do you know what I mean? Soon we would have hit the end and we'll have to wait 1 week and watch it all together, and then watch it together a week later. And I've never had that on a show before. I've never watched the show completely live as it's being aired, so that'll be a good, like, it'd just be good. Like, it's something totally different for all of us to get behind. So I'm really excited anyway. Don't know how the season's going to play out. I hope they tease us anyway with Hope's death every now and again, and then we actually get it I was going to say in the finale, but like I said, I think it's going to be in the next season. So I'm really excited for that one. And that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. I mean, a crazy one. Looks like Landon's broke up with Hope, which I never expected would ever happen. But I do feel like they're going to get back together again, because I feel like they are a consistent relationship where they'll do whatever it takes to not put each other in danger, to, you know, pretty much what we've seen is each other is willing to sacrifice their own life to save each other. But now he is feeling really distant. He said that obviously being in Malibu has caused him to become and adapt into a different person. He's had to fight his way out. He had to defeat the necromancer. You know what I mean? He's had to fight all these monsters. He's had to train himself in combat. He's had to kill. You know, he's had to repeat days over and over again. You know, he went to the school. He said that obviously in Malibu he was there, and there was somebody that was giving him vision, and the visions was of Hope consistently being attacked, and he had to defeat him. Do you know what I mean? So the guy's been through a lot. But Hope found out as well that he's been back in the present for weeks, mate. Absolute weeks. And he's not even come and he said anything. Now, he countered it. Yeah, very good. And you can't be mad at it. Mate, when you come back, you see me happy with Joe saying you didn't want to come in and you didn't want to spoil it. You didn't want to throw, you know, like a spanner in the works. You didn't want to absolutely just rip everything apart. You wanted to see if I was happy. You seen that was happy and you didn't want to come in. Yeah, I seen you. You was with this Landon. Now, obviously, you can't blame Hope for being with that Landon because she thought it was Landon. So first of all, it's not like it's a different person. And yeah, she was happy. And he sat there and he's looked at it and he's like, mate, that person can give you everything that I can, and do you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to come in, and I didn't want to destroy your relationship with that person and throw a spanner in the works. So I wanted to sit back, and you know, you're happy currently, so why don't you stay happy? Do you know? And if I'm on the outside, knowing that there's a possibility of monsters coming, then I can be here defending it. I can save the school, you can stay happy, and obviously I can stay away from society a bit because it's hard to come back after being away for so long. So, I mean, if you listen, he's speaking a bit of sense. He is speaking a bit of sense. And obviously breaking up with Hope, I think that is not a step too far, but I think that is like, that's a mad one. Do you know what I mean? If you want to keep her safe, then you need to be around and use your skills to help the school. He's very knowledgeable. He actually is. Like, he knows quite a lot of things. And I think obviously just an extra person there is an asset. But if he's going to leave and he's going with Cleo and he's going to go somewhere else and help that way as well, the possibility that Hope don't have to die for their point of view, that's a great idea. From my point of view, Hope needs to die. She needs to just jump out a window, kill herself or something. Do you know what I mean? But like I say, it's happening now. It is going to happen. We are going to be in season 4. We're going to have the Tribid, and it's going to be absolutely sick. And I'm so excited for it. I mean, obviously you got Finch and Josie. They are coupled, mate. You know, you can call me girlfriend now. And that's what I like to see. Because if one couple is going, another one can arrive, as well as MG and Lizzie can also arrive. For me, that is the one that I'm getting behind, even though both of them won in today's episode and Lizzie won in the last one either. So that's interesting. I mean, I can't believe that we actually have stuck with the Raphael storyline of him just being gone. I never expected that, literally. But I did kind of expect it in a way of he got a send-off that feels like a send-off. I think at the time in that episode, I was like, do you know what? He has had like a proper send-off here. It does make it feel like he's going away. What I'm interested to know is, has he filmed something? Do you know, has he gone to film another show? Because if not, then that's strange why he'd want to drop out, isn't it? Especially like a show like this. I think that it's probably getting good views or something. It's been extended to obviously season 4. I don't know if it's gone after season 4, but it survived COVID, which is a massive plus. You know, they could have just cut ties and was like, right, kibosh that, done with that one, move on to the next. But it hasn't. It's continued and picked up, and it's still got the following. So, I mean, unless he's doing something bigger and better, I'm not sure why Raphael's left, but Finch has come in, Cleo's decided to go. Hopefully Finch stays for the long haul. I knew that she was going to come back and she was going to be fighting with all the wolves and she was going to be, you know, like Team Wolf and that, because you have to. Do you know what I'm saying? There still is another female that joined at the same time as Cleo that we haven't seen at all. You know, she was just there for like one episode, joined and bounced. Maybe we can see her more. But I want MG and Lizzie to get together towards the back end of the season. I want Hope to obviously transition into a tribrid, into season 4, and then I want obviously Landon to come back in the show whenever that's going to be. You don't have to rush him in. You know, if he's going to be absent while Hope transitions, and we can focus on Hope herself and how much she's going to become a beast, then I'm all for that as well. But I'm excited to watch the next episode. Thanks everyone for clicking on today's video. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.